as we can read, it's in the north of Africa. Maybe you can explain in some words where we are here and what kind of region is it?
Sure. So this specific area is called the South of Sinai. It's located in Egypt, and this area is called St. Catherine's. It's a preserve where there's a lot of flora and fauna that has been protected by the keepers of this land, which are the Bedouin community, the indigenous and native people of the region.
And it looks very peaceful, and the people, they don't look happy but relaxed, but it isn't really true. There are some problems in the region. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like a lot of indigenous communities, the Bedouin community have been going through a lot of struggles to get their civil rights. So it started off after regaining the land from the occupation. The community has been sort of labeled as traitors for remaining and insisting in the land to protect it. And since then, they have really struggled to get their civil rights, get proper medical care, education, many times being discriminated once they leave the region, and just lack of basic rights. And with all of that, the community still maintains their way of life and still insists on remaining in the land and remaining connected to the land. Unfortunately, younger generations are now trying to look for better opportunities elsewhere. You can't blame them, of course. And hopefully with this project, we'll be able to celebrate the Bedouin way of life and with that, encourage the younger generations to stay in their land.
Okay, and at some photos one can see that you made something with it afterwards. Is it a special cultural tradition of the Bedouin culture, or maybe you can say some words?
This is not me who did it. So the project turned out into a community project throughout the past years. I wanted to include the voices of the community in visuals. So one of the ways that I did that is I invited the community members to add their own interventions in the work. One of which is embroidery, which is a very traditional medium by the Bedouin women of St. Catherine's. Is it okay if I open?
Sure.
Okay.
If it's okay for you.
Yeah, it's fine. So what happened is that I started to take photographs, especially portraits of the Bedouin women, print it on fabric, and then give it back to them. And they would be able to embroider whatever they want in it and have the power to, to hide or reveal whatever they want. And so it became this sort of like a visual dance between myself and them, and seeing how they would like to be visually represented and having control over that. So it started off more as portraits to allow the women who wanted to hide their identity to do it with embroidery. And what I discovered the other way around, the women actually wanted to celebrate themselves since they have this power of agency. And then they decided to embroider more photographs that gave commentary. So some photographs of here, Maryam is the one who did this embroidery. Maryam is the one who did this embroidery for her mother, Hajja Muhammad. And she wanted to show the garden that has been dried out for so many years. Mahmoud here was embroidered. He was taken. This photograph was taken in his home, and his cousin Noura was the one who embroidered the photograph for him. So it became more of a commentary by the Bedouin women, showing their voice, showing their presence in the community, because for so long they have been, seen as this, voiceless, being. But in reality, women are actually the more powerful, segment of the community itself.